What's going on, y'all? This is Jay, Just TV making it. Just making it TV. I'm actually doing another video today going over Byron Blake's video about 1090 Jake and him being down with the Charlie Clark hip hop and what's doing. Now, if you following 1090 Jake, you know he's a snake, man. He falls off every 5 minutes, man, with this blood shit. 1 minute he's a blood that did hella time in jail. The next minute he's over here getting exposed by me and my boy over here, Byron Blake. So listen, y'all, stay tuned and listen. We're gonna see what Byron Blake is over here talking about, y'all. This is Just Making It TV. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Well, at this point, it's looking like the great white blood is exposing himself. He said, they done with me, I'm done with them. So on today's episode of 1090 Jake Exposed, we're going to take a look into his latest post about Charlie Kirk. I think that the great white blood is trying to tell us something. It's mighty strange. I always talk about how different the dynamics are when he gets in different situations. And it's mighty strange that this particular topic comes up because I have avoided speaking on this topic partially because I don't like the fact that people are mocking his death. I feel like
True. That's actually very crazy. Everybody is kind of mocking his death, man. I mean, look, like I said yesterday, man, he did the exact same thing to Malcolm X. I mean, could we really drop some tears for him? And, America's going to stop for him, but is it really our problem as black Americans?
some of the same people mocking his death say drill music is trash. You know, and that's a contradiction. If you are going to condemn drill music, you gotta feel the same way about just mocking a person who's done. It don't change because you rap it. That's just my opinion. So I've strayed away from this topic because I didn't want to get bunched in. I understand a lot of people feel a way towards him, and I'm not saying at all that I support anything that he said. I don't. I never liked him. I didn't really much care for his view of things at all. But I don't feel like his death should be mocked. Not, just not for me. He didn't do anything to me personally to make me mock his death. With that being said, the great white blood must feel the same way. But he decided to express himself a little differently. Now,
Which I don't know why. If you know 1090 Jake, man, you know he's fake. He's on some other shit every 5 minutes, man. He don't know what the fuck he want to do, whether he want to be a journalist, a fake blood, or an inmate, man. You got to pick one, though.
what got me with this is it's so symbolic and reminiscent of people who have come before 1090 Jake. And it's like they use us to come up, and then at the first opportunity they get, they switch sides. And that's what we seeing right here. I'm about to show it to y'all, but that's all I see. When he was trying to come up, he was talking like this.
For me, my opinion, he was flat out murdered. Um, and it's tough to watch these videos over and over and over again. You know what I mean? Whether people are getting chased down by a truck and shot, or whether, during a citizen's arrest, or whether the police are just putting their knee on somebody's neck. And there's a lot of different things that I'm confused and conflicted on as far as why they don't immediately get arrested.
This guy, listen, fucking fat ass Bobby Hill over here. Fat Bobby Hill lookalike motherfucker. Over here lying. Playing. So first he talking like a thug. What's the next minute, Mr. B Rad?
You know what I mean? Why is it a question? Because if in any other given situation somebody restrains somebody and put their knee on their neck, when that isn't taught by any law enforcement or anyone else, they would have been booked on a murder. Like, imagine being at a club and people are fighting and security grabs someone, puts his knee on their neck for the next 7.5 minutes. You know what I mean? What do you think dude's gonna get booked on a body?
Now, if you follow me, you know I've always said that the Great White Blood was more of a this type of guy and more of a this type of guy, especially this type of guy, than he is this type of guy. A whole
Fair, a whole fake, right? It's a whole fake. You can't believe that he really ain't. He the only white dude in that picture. Come on, man. Nobody sees nothing wrong with this.
lot more. But today, he dropped a bombshell on me. Not just me though, everybody. This was a slap in the face for all of y'all that been telling me, not all of y'all, because some of y'all probably feel like he did, but y'all know who I'm talking to. It's, oh man, leave him alone. He one of the guys. He good guy. Woo. He dropped a bombshell. Let me get to it.
Charlie Kirk's death has impacted American history, and I personally am a subscriber of Charlie Kirk's.
We gonna stop it right there for just a moment.
That's fucking crazy. Wow, fat boy. Bobby Hill, what the fuck are you doing?
Because if you've been following this 1090 Jake Exposed series, then you know we all about contradictions here. If you're not familiar with Charlie Kirk is the same guy who said this about George Floyd.
I saw a clip somewhere that you were trying to get the officer who murdered George Floyd pardoned, and I just want to know what your reasoning was about that.
Well, George Floyd didn't die because of the police officer. He died largely because of a drug overdose.
But he had his knee on his neck, and we all saw the video.
But the knee on the neck is actually an approved police technique that police departments taught Derek Chauvin to use. Do you know that George Floyd was saying, "I couldn't breathe," well before that restraining technique? And
so why'd they use the technique if he already couldn't breathe?
Well, because he was actually resisting arrest, and they had to restrain him. And they restrained him in a way that they were taught to do, which is the knee on the neck technique.
Okay, so when does the technique end? Like when they die? Like he said he couldn't breathe.
No, I mean the technique ends when the individual stops resisting arrest. His cause of death was not asphyxiation; it was drug overdose.
Aside from the obvious contradiction in positions with regard to whether or not this case should have been prosecuted and he should have gone to prison, or whether or not he should have been pardoned, or even, in that position in the first place, there exists the hidden contradiction. And that's, Jake, you flip-flopped. I just gotta put it in layman's terms. You flip-flopped. Now that you have money, you subscribe to the other side. and
Rich white boy, he ain't back out there in the trenches with us. That's some crazy shit.
To know what I mean by the other side, you have to understand what Charlie Kirk's ideology was. Charlie Kirk had this to say about Martin Luther King.
Where MLK, in my personal opinion and based on every objective analysis, he actually gave us more race focus and less emphasis on character and conduct. Because here we are 60 years later. Do we talk about race less or more in the last couple of decades? I'm not only blaming MLK for this, but his core driving philosophy was not about a colorblind society. That is a line in one of his speeches. He would actually be closer to a race Marxist, almost akin to a DEI type philosopher if you go deep into his writings, especially later in his life. So, and I think we as conservatives and Christians must reconsider some of the mythologies and some of the icons and the symbols that we hold up, especially as we try to reorient ourselves in a broken culture.
In other words, we should not be giving MLK any praise. He should not be having a holiday or none of that stuff. Basically, wipe MLK off the map. It's hard to believe that you can go from justice for George Floyd to subscribing to that.
Some of my kids are top of their class, and I fully attribute IXL to helping them reach that goal because of...
without having already felt that way. So, you know, in my opinion, you felt that way all along. You just were doing what you needed to do to fit in. This 1090 Jake Exposed series has demonstrated on multiple occasions that you were just trying to fit in. And now that you feel like you've reached a certain height, you feel like it's okay to publicly say, yeah, I'm on the other side. And so this episode of 1090 Jake Exposed is sort of like a call to arms. Because I've been seeing a lot of outrage from my community about this Charlie Kirk thing, and I don't want to make this no race thing at all. But I'm totally against racism to the point where nobody that's black should be supporting him. I gotta just say it. Nobody.
No, you right. That's fair.
Black, go unsubscribe right now. Because it's one thing to recognize a person for what they believe in and say, hey, that's his belief, I can't change that. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I'm not gonna mock his death. He hasn't done anything wrong to me to that degree. But it's another thing to push the ideology. That's a completely different thing. And that's what Jake is doing. He did it in a very subtle way, but he pushed the ideology just by stating, yeah, I'm a personal subscriber to Charlie Kirk. That's saying, yeah.
But us as the viewer, we gotta see past that. Jake is a phony, man. And motherfucker rides the wave just to be a part of, just to get the views. Come on, man. Like, we gotta see through that shit. Jake is a fraud. You heard it first on Just Making the TV. 1090 Jake is a whole fraud.
Yeah, if you follow me, then you should follow Charlie Kirk, because that's what I did. So, yeah, I want to see if all of these, you know, I want to see. But I definitely expect to see that subscriber count drop, because I know that we put him there. We put him in that position. We did that, most definitely. He didn't blow up on Charlie Kirk platform.
Speaking big facts, Byron. We the ones that put 1090 Jake up there. Unsubscribe to him. Listen, we build them up, we could break them down. That's truth. You heard it here on Just Making the TV.
Or doing Republican versus Democrat debates. He blew up talking about hip hop, gang culture, paperwork, prison. So that's it. I can't even lie to y'all. I'm kind of disgusted because I've been feeling like this all along. I played the clip for y'all when he was talking about
Used to, hang out in the South, and we would speak on a lot of different things. I was always open to hearing someone's beliefs. I would never disregard your beliefs just because they didn't align with mine. I was open to hearing your perspective as long as you weren't trying to force beliefs on me. And he was big into history like myself. He was big into conspiracy theories. I remember he broke down certain parts of the Holocaust to me, talking about the number of people that were said to be killed, the lack of evidence of that number being accurate, the amount of people they said were being cremated at the time, that they wouldn't be able to cremate that high of a number in that short of an amount of time, even with today's technology.
But this dude done flipped all the way around. Like today, he really came out of his mouth and said this.
And his death has solidified my choice in getting baptized, not because of how he died, but because of how he wanted to be remembered.
If everything completely goes away, how do you want to be remembered?
You mean if I die?
Everything just goes away. How would you, if you could be associated with one thing, how would you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered for courage for my faith. That would be the most important thing. The most important thing is my faith.
So yeah, Charlie Kirk wants to be remembered for his faith. That faith has inspired 1090 Jake to go get baptized because I guess he wants the same faith.
Man, look, this is some clown ass shit from motherfucking fake ass fucking 1090 Jake. Now look, me personally, we out here trying to expose this guy to get this nigga up off of YouTube. He's a whack, phony, and if you don't see it, listen, you gon' see it later on in this whole situation when it comes to a head and fucking exposes the whole fucking water fan, man. He's just done with it. I can't even talk about 1090 Jake, bro. Listen, he's too motherfucking hot. He's too whack. He got too much smut on his name. And I put it like this, I won't be a part of it, y'all, but look, this is Just Making It TV. I want y'all to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And check out my boy Byron Blake, man. Listen, blow up blind Byron Blake's channel, man. Listen, I'm out, y'all. Peace.